What's up, everybody? I lied. I lied. Well, I lied, but I didn't know I was gonna lie. Okay, listen. I'm back one more time, but just with a voice one this time, okay? I'm going to talk to you at a different type of awareness. Look at me as a very conscious financial educator, okay? A conscious, and I'm only saying conscious financial educator because and I'm going to give it to you as simply as I can. The only thing that is making me conscious is that I trust mathematics. I only know more than what you know because I trust math and you don't. That's it. That's the only difference between you and me. You youngsters that are catching on and you're feeling the connection with me, and you all say the same thing, you just don't know you do, okay? Oh my God, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was the only one that thought this way. Um, I asked all my friends, and they never seemed to know what I was talking about. All that, you know what? And it almost will drive you crazy because you can't understand why other people can't hear the simplicity in what you're saying when it comes to money. They're in debt. They can't hear you. You're not crazy. Those are all the things I did. I said and did the same things most of my life, but you get caught up in the debt matrix and you start thinking you're the only one. No, you're looking at it all wrong. This is how much room it is to make a lot of money if you just trust mathematics. If you just trust math right now you're in a very confused state. This is the key. I'm going to tell you the key. Trust math in everything you do, and you will understand why. Okay. And then you'll understand why there are only few people that hear what we speak and the majority do not. You will understand why and how it all works. You'll understand. You'll believe mathematics. What if I told you right now, in this very moment, you can predict in the future if you're going to be rich or not? Right now, you can tell yourself today. You can tell yourself today if you're going to have a lot of money or become a millionaire or billionaire, whatever you want to be. Right now, you can predict that right now. You can go into your future, imagine what it's like, and then come back and then do it. Now, you're probably asking, how in the hell can I do that? It's easy. Say to yourself right now, whatever I do right now will predict my future. Whatever I do today will affect my future financially. Right now, today. If you just say that to yourself today, you can predict your future. You can predict your financial future right now at this moment. The next time you finance a cell phone, do the math first. Stop and do the math. And then once you see the math, I want you to ask yourself, how come I didn't see this before? If I knew this number, I would have never financed this phone. The next time you go finance a car, I want you to run the numbers between paying cash and financing it. Then once you see the numbers, then I want you to say to yourself, how come I'm willing to pay this much for a car? And also say to yourself, if I keep doing that, I will never get financially ahead if I keep financing things that go down in value. That's mathematically impossible. Math says if you keep doing that, you're going to be broke your entire life. This is how you predict your financial future. You create it right now, today. So this is you sitting on the fence and you thought you were crazy the whole time and you couldn't talk to anybody about it. There's nobody to talk to. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. Okay. This is why there's hardly nobody to talk to. Everybody's living in the freaking debt matrix and they don't know it. If you just trust mathematics, you come on this side and you will be able to clearly see how easy it is to become rich. The first thing you're going to notice is that life is not expensive at all. It's not even close to expensive. Not even in the slightest. But when you're in debt, it seems that way. It really does. It seems that way when you're in debt. When you're out of debt, you'll be able to see all the fakers, all the people pretending to be rich. You can see them all. They're obvious. The only people they're fooling are people in debt. And I'm going to share this with all you guys right now, okay? How easy it is to find the fakers. And right now at this moment, I'm only talking to you fakers. Let's just go straight to the fakers. All of you guys pretending to be rich, right? Pretending to have nice cars, clothes, houses, all the stuff you see on Facebook. Okay, all that stuff, right? For you fakers that know you're up to your eyeballs in debt, I can see you. All I have to do is take one look at your personal credit report and it will tell me everything I need to know about you financially. You're probably wondering how I'm going to look at that. You probably think I'm talking about your credit score. Nope. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add up every single penny of your debt. And when I do, that's how much you're worth. Whatever that number is, that's how much you're worth. That's how I can find you very easily. Now, this is going to be a shocker to most of you guys that are faking like that. It's never too late, okay? Just the way I can see you, I will show you how to do that too. You'll know what I know. So don't take it bad. I don't want you don't get angry that I can see you, okay? Just try to think about how easy it is for me to see you. Yes, that's all I have to do is take one look at your personal credit report. It will show me how much debt you're in. It will show me if you've had student loans for 50 years, 60, 20, 10, 5, hell, even 5. It'll show me collections. It'll show me bankruptcies. It'll show me all that. This is why I'm probably one of the only people in the freaking world in the United States that will show you their entire credit report. You want to go see it? Go check it out on Debt Ain't My Daddy. Go to facebook.com, Debt Ain't My Daddy. Go look at my entire credit report, and I want you to gaze on all the zeros. Just go gaze at it. Just look at it. Just look at all of those zeros. I wouldn't do any business with anybody in this world if their personal credit report didn't look like mine. I would say no. Anybody I do any kind of business that involves money, part of the requirement is going to be I have access to their personal credit report and they have access to mine. That's the only way I would ever do business. I would have to see it. Part of the union or whatever you want to call it, access to people's personal credit report, because that will tell you everything you need to know. Say like you have a financial investor that you trust, but you have no idea what's on his credit report. You have not a clue. What if you took a look at his credit report and his credit report was worse than yours? and his credit report was worse than yours, but he's investing money for you. One look at he or she's personal credit report, and guess what? They've already, if their credit report's a mess, they've already broken the number one rule already. They haven't invested in themselves first. If they haven't invested in themselves first, that means they are disrespecting their own money. They're disrespecting it. Whether they know this or not is 100% irrelevant. Math will always say it to be true, always. And if they're disrespecting their own money, you think, do you really believe they're going to treat your money better than their own? You are highly mistaken if you ever believe that in a multi-billion, gazillion years. All of it can be changed by one peek at a person's personal credit report. You will always meet the right people. That is something that cannot be faked, especially if you don't even know that it exists. And trust me, if you've been in debt all your life, you have not a clue of what I'm saying. You probably listening to me and say, that's not true. And if you're thinking like that, if that's you, I want you to do the math. Does the math say I'm true? If the math says if the math says it's true, you got to ask yourself, how come you don't believe it? How come you don't believe it, even though math is telling you that it's true? How come you don't believe it? And it's really a question for yourself. You got to ask yourself, how come I don't believe my own mathematics? How come I don't believe it? Hold on, you guys. One second. One second. One moment. I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize, you guys. I didn't mean a phone call came across, and I had to jump on. Can you guys hear me? Hope you guys can hear me. Okay, I don't see that thing pulsating at all here. Testing, testing. Okay, there we go. There we go. Anyway, this is how. This is the gift. People that even take me wrong. This is you're looking at it wrong if you come to my channel and you think I'm just making up something, right? Even though the math shows it to be true. Okay, and that's how you're going to cross over. Once you accept that math is true, you'll understand everything I'm saying. This is how easy it will be to predict your financial future. This is how easy it is. You can predict, it's funny when I think back at questions that was asked of me when I was in debt. I remember getting a question like when somebody's trying to sell you something and then they say, how much money do you think you need to live 5 years from now and this and that? And when you're in debt, you don't really know what answer to give. What are you going to say? $1 million? $1 million will be fine. Yeah. And then they're going to, and then they sit down. Right? It's so funny, man, when you think back. When I think back now, and then they sit down and come up with this formula that is supposed to tell you how much money you will have by a certain date in the future. That just blows me away today. That blows me away to even think about. I used to sit down, and I did this many times with many different companies that were somehow going to set my life up for my future livelihood and the future of my money. Like they were going to tell me something about my money that I didn't know about my money. It's just the craziest thing. Like these numbers that they come up with and put you in these programs and stuff. It's all business. Okay. It's nothing. I'm not saying it's fraudulent or nothing like that. Okay. All those things and businesses are legitimate businesses, but they can't tell you about something you should know. You should know how much money you have. You should know how much debt you're in. You should know. The fact that the majority of people accept that some other entity is going to tell them about only they should know or could possibly know. Input of information you cannot input human behavior into that equation. It doesn't factor in. You can't. There's no space. There's no QL. Everybody's behavior personally. Okay, you can predict a group of people. The majority of people are in debt. You can predict their behavior. It's controllable. You can steer them any which way you want. It's not really that difficult, right? People just do what they think they're supposed to do. But when you get a hold and realize your money is only controlled by you and you should know everything about it, that's the only way you're going to know. Debt to income ratio, stuff like that. It's like people don't really hear the whole statement. Debt to income. When you don't have any debt, there is no ratio. People just look at debt to income ratio and say, oh, okay, if that's what the bank said to do, okay, the bank said do this. And then they just follow along just like sheeple. Never once. What's up, Ill Wills? Lance, BK from the Rockies. Once you realize you have no debt, there is no ratio. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not teasing anybody or getting down on somebody that didn't know that. I didn't know that when I was in the debt matrix. I never even thought to think that way. I never thought to say, hey, wait a minute. If I don't have any debt, there's no ratio to be used upon. Yeah, I never thought like that. Okay. I just thought debt to income ratio was just part of my financial life, and that's what it was. And I thought I had no, you don't. I didn't realize I did. And those of you that might be saying something like, "Well, if that's true, how come everybody's not doing it? It must be a secret, or it would be a secret." No, that is the secret. Thinking it's a secret. Calling it a secret makes the people in the debt matrix believe becoming wealthy is a secret. That's why they believe it's a secret, because the smart people made it so simple. Hey, if we just say it's a secret, everybody, the majority will believe it. And they do. They believe it's a secret when it's not. Like debt to income ratios when you go buy a house, or the credit report agencies. I mean, people don't even stop and think. I didn't, right? People don't realize how confusing credit is. That's on purpose, to keep you confused and in debt, because it makes none of it adds up. Okay. I mean, on the consumer side, the business side, it adds up. It adds up well. But on the consumer side of credit, because I'm not knocking credit, it counts on how you use it. On the consumer side of credit, it makes absolutely no mathematical sense whatsoever. None, zero. But the majority of people in debt don't understand that it makes absolutely no mathematical sense. They just keep doing it. It's crazy, man. Mm. What's up, Ill Will? Salute. Just on a just a random thing that, and the reason why I'm even jumping on here, man, because I'm getting a lot of young people just more and more young people reaching out, just and telling me what I've done for their lives, and it just inspires me. It inspires me to do more, knowing that I'm connecting with the young generation. And let me tell you, you youngsters that are listening to me right now, let me tell you my purpose here. This is my purpose. Don't ask me how I know it's my purpose, but it is my purpose. I'm here to help create the next generation of millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. You'll know whatever once I show you what you need to know, you'll know how to get to whatever magical number you want to get to, because you'll clearly see how possible it is. And then you'll just go with that number, even if I mean, once you're out of debt, you don't really look at money like that anymore. Though that's just names that people in debt recognize. Like, somebody say, "Hey, this person's worth a trillion," and people just say, "Oh my God, he's worth a trillion." That's just a number. Okay. That's just what people in debt recognize. You won't even look at money like that anymore. You'll see it for what it is. It's just paper with numbers on it. It's not even real. It's not even real for people in debt. It's not even real. You young people that are listening to you, I'm telling you right now, I'm here to help create the next generation of millionaires, because I'm going to show you how simple it is. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario, young people, that I want you to I'm gonna give you a scenario for you young people. I want you to grasp this, okay? And I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna tell you in a way, and you're gonna struggle with it, okay? And I'm gonna tell you before I even tell you, you're gonna struggle with the understanding of this, okay? You really are gonna struggle. But the one thing I want you to stay hold to is the mathematics, okay? You're gonna struggle why or how I'm saying this, this could be true. But if I want you to understand, if math says it's true, it's true. Okay. Money does not exist for people in debt. It's not real for them. It doesn't exist. They just believe it's real. They believe it's worth something. Now, listen, I'm going to give you an example so you can understand this. Okay. If a person in debt has $50,000 in student loan debt and $1,000 cash in their pocket that they can reach in, grab, touch, feel, count in their pocket, it doesn't exist. They just believe that cash is in their hand. Now listen closely, okay? According to mathematics, $1,000 cash minus $50,000 in student loan debt, that equals negative $49,000. So according to math, the cash that they see, feel, smell, taste, see, is not really there. Now, this is the part you're going to struggle with. You know the math is right, even though you can see and feel the cash in your hand. You're going to struggle with that. You know the math is right, but you can see, smell, taste, feel, count the cash in your hand, but math says it's not really there. Which one are you going to believe? Listen, which one are you going to believe when you know math is never wrong? I mean, doesn't that cut your odds right in half of which one to pick? You have two choices: believe the cash is there or you believe mathematics. Even though math is never wrong. Knowing math is never wrong, the majority of people in debt will still pick the cash. If you understand this concept, you will be rich. If you always believe in math, you will never lose with money, ever. I'm not even talking like calculus or nothing. I'm just talking about the grade school math we learned in grade school. Youngsters, 20s, ask your parents, hey, you still got your student loans? If they say yes, you better do the opposite immediately. Anything your parents are doing, you better do the opposite. It makes absolutely no financial sense to go to college for 4 years, but pay on your college loans for 30, 20, 40, 50, 60. That makes absolutely no financial sense at all in any country in the world. CENTS. That's all the information you need to know to break the cycle. Do the exact opposite and you will be rich. Take your feelings out of it. Math doesn't care about anybody's feelings. Math could care less about anybody in this world, how it feels about itself. Math doesn't care about anybody's feelings. This is why you guys connect with me when you're young like that. And I'm telling you guys in a way, because for a couple of reasons. You're still susceptible to information, the wrong information be put in your head, whether you think it or not, it doesn't matter. You are young, trust me. You're closer to grade school, you still kind of get the basics of mathematics. You still kind of get it. And you're young enough to become just whatever, make as much money as you wish. You just got to choose it. And how do you choose it? Believe in mathematics in everything you do, and that will predict your future. Your financial future will be set. Right there. That move alone. I know when you're young, all these people tell you to invest in everything outside of yourself. No, no, no. Invest in yourself first. You're the fastest one, and the only vehicle that will get you to wherever you want to get to the fastest is you. It's no outside entity other than you. That's not true. It's you. You want to be rich? Believe math, believe in everything you do financially, believe in mathematics, and you'll be rich. It's really that simple. And don't listen to anybody that doesn't believe in math. That's it. You come across somebody that believes in finance and cars, you better not listen to them financially because they don't believe in mathematics. You see people refinancing homes and thinking they're paying off cars. They obviously don't believe in mathematics, so they wouldn't do things like that. Do the exact opposite. You don't listen to people like that. Man, if somebody had told me this type of information when I was in my 20s, it's it is so simple too. It's so angrily simple. They make finances sound so, especially when you're young, you make finances sound so complicated. When you're in debt, you don't know who to listen to. You don't know who to trust. You don't know if they're telling you the right financial information. And a lot of people, a lot of people don't know it's just simple mathematics. And people put down the very thing they need to know about their own money, math. People are quick to say, I'm not good at math. When you say that, you tell the world that you're not good at money because math and money are one. So if you're not good at math, you're not good at money. You just told somebody that's gonna handle your money that you don't know about money. This is how people get out of this is why people get away with financial stuff on people so easily for so long, for years. You'd be like, sometimes you'll hear cases on TV, oh man, this guy was robbing them for like 5 years, and stuff like that. That says a lot. That says that says a lot about the person that got robbed. When you understand money, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. I promise you, when you understand how money works, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. Number one, you'll know which people to pick when it comes to money and what areas that you wish to work with. You know who the right people to work with. It's even happening on my channel. Like somebody today was like, hey, I need to learn about real estate. I'm like, hey, Cosmic Wisdom knows about real estate. She just this young person just got handed off to a person that's going to genuinely show this person how to do real estate or involved in the real estate game, right? First, the person comes from me. I teach them how to get out of debt. This person's already happens to be debt free, right? So they speak the language. Now they go over to another person that speaks the language of debt free, that understands the side of the real estate game, the debt free side of, because you better believe this. Let me tell you guys something. This is a good one too. When you're financially free, you speak debt free. First, you start with your personal finances, and then you take it over to the business side of things. And it's a whole different game. There's a lot of people on that side of the game too. They're in debt. But once I get from here to there, I'm gonna be a freaking monster. And I'm not even over there yet. And you're probably thinking, Lynette, how can you be a monster in an invest game and you're not even in it now? Because I'm debt free. I know when I jump over there, I'm not saying I need to even know. Listen, I want you guys to listen to this very closely. I know nothing about investing. Zero. The only person I'm investing in right now is myself. Once myself gets to a point to where I'm wherever it's going to be to next, and then I'm gonna get in a higher tax bracket. Now, this is when I have to expand into learning how more and more about tax. But I don't need to know about it personally. I know how to pick the right people to do my taxes, the right people to do my investing. This is how I do it. Each person I talk to that's going to do it for me, I'm going to ask to see their personal credit report first. Their personal credit report is going to tell me if that person has invested in themselves. It's going to tell me. And if they haven't invested in themselves first, I'm not working with them. Youngsters, do you see how easy it is? Easy it will be. 20s, 30-year-olds, this is how easy you will be able to navigate through the debt matrix without them even knowing how you're doing it, how long you've been doing it, why, how do you know this information? How did this is how you do it. They won't know why you're asking these questions. That's why I'm able to say this out loud. They won't know a word you're saying because they only speak debt. This is why I'm able to openly talk to you about this, because people in debt cannot hear me. This is how easy it will be for you to navigate, meet the right people, that's going to take you to the next level of whatever you're trying to be or go to or whatever. This is how you connect with them, because they know, because trust me, let me tell you something. If somebody came to me and asked to see my entire personal credit report, I would automatically know why they're asking me that question. Automatically, right off the bat, I would know. I would know why they're asking me. A lot of people in debt have no idea what I mean by that. They have no idea. People in debt will always think you're talking about their credit score. When you ask to see a person's credit report, people in debt automatically will think you're talking about asking to see their personal credit score. I mean, their credit score, but that's not what you want to see. You want to see how how their entire credit report looks and how much debt they're in. And that is it. That's how you determine everything. This will be your gift. This is how you will be able to navigate and meet the right people. You'll climb up so fast in whatever endeavor you're doing, whatever. You'll climb so fast because you'll know how to connect with the right people. You have to even know this even exists. People in debt don't believe a person can be 100% debt free. They believe that you must be rich to be debt free. When math clearly shows all you got to do is get out of debt and you'll be at zero. But even saying zero, people in debt believe if you say zero, they believe you're broke. If you say zero, no, that means you're free. That doesn't mean you're broke. That means according to math, if you get to zero, that means you're free. Anything under it means you're in debt. See what I'm saying? But you tell that to somebody in a debt matrix. If you say, hey, my net worth is zero, they're going to believe you are broke when you're free. See how I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense, right? They don't understand that. Young people, this is how you will be able to navigate through all the noise. Nobody will be able to fool you anymore. No more worry about IRS tax scams and all that other stupid nonsense. All those scams are geared to people in debt because people don't understand how it works. So they're just terrified of all that kind of stupid nonsense. It makes absolutely no sense. How much sense would it make if somebody called you and said, hey, I'm from the IRS. You got to pay me. Yeah. Okay. You got to go down the street and get some gift cards right there. What? That doesn't even make any kind of, I mean, it's like embarrassing stupid, right? It's just like, you think the IRS would call you and say, go down to a gift store and I mean, but people do it. People really believe somebody's going to send them a check, have them cash it, and just send them back part of the money. People do it and they believe it. Why? Because they're in debt. I know it sounds stupid. I know it sounds crazy, dumb, but people do it. If people didn't fall for it, they wouldn't do it. Now, I'm going to tell you something else too, okay? You're also going to know the people that understand money the same way I do. You'll see them too, okay? And there's negative in every piece of the puzzle, okay? There's negative, okay? You'll see them too, but you'll also know to stay away from them, okay? That kind of stuff, that kind of stuff they do to people doesn't last. That's a limited time until they're exposed. Once they're exposed, everything they built is gone. It's gone. Okay. So don't you'll know how to avoid those type of people because they're there. I can see them. They're easy to see too. They're easy to spot. They're not, and you just you're like, wow, man, you took that gift and did it with that, huh? Okay, whatever. Because as long as they're doing it legally, hey, you can't really say nothing. It's not. They're not. When I say people doing it negatively, I'm not saying negatively in a illegal way. I'm saying negatively in a moral way. And again, those are just my feelings about it. Okay. I'm not saying the person's bad. I'm just saying they're just doing it in a different way. All right. Whatever. But sorry, you guys, I was reading a text message. But anyway, I hope you youngsters can hear me. If you're young and if you had parents that always talked about money and money problems, they were in debt. All right. And if you grow up that way and you hear that all the time, you will start to believe that debt is just part of life. I mean, it's easy to do that. You will think you'll believe in all the money doesn't grow on trees and what do you think I made of money and all this other stuff. Those are all terms to believe that money is scarce. Okay, that just imprints in your brain, and they're just doing what they've been taught. But I'm here to tell you that that's not true. The only thing your parents didn't do was believe in mathematics. Okay, and you're going to carry on the tradition if you do the same by not believing in mathematics. If you choose to believe math today, your financial future will be bright. Your financial future will be anything you want it to be. Anything you want it to be. Imagine it, what you would like it to be, 5, 10 years from now, right? Go into the future, imagine what it would be like to whatever. And then you come back to the present and you say, what steps are it going to take me to do today to make sure that happens 5 years from now? What financial steps am I going to be willing to take? Okay, I'm gonna stop financing cars, cell phones, furniture, washer and dryers, refrigerators, clothes. I'm gonna stop financing all that stuff because math says each time I financing something, I'm paying taxes on it twice. One I can see and one I can't. If I don't have the money for the item, that means I don't have the money for the taxes. So I'm obviously financing the taxes too. Not only am I paying them up front, the one I can see, since I don't have the money, I'm financing the taxes too. I'm getting taxed twice. If I keep doing that, my financial future will not be bright. And this brings up my last point because I want you guys to really understand something very, very important. Okay. When you finance something, there's a tax that you cannot see. I don't even know if it has a name on it, okay? But I'm gonna just call it phantom tax. Let's just call it phantom tax, okay? Just like phantom income, there's a phantom tax. That's a good term, actually. Now imagine you finance a $300,000 house, okay? Of course, if you had cash and you walked up and say, "Okay, I got $300,000, it'll be $300,000 plus tax." Everybody knows this. Okay? Everybody knows this. So the person with cash comes up to that house, puts the $300,000 plus he has the extra money for the tax on the $300,000 house. Okay? Boom. Now it's his house. Boom. Everything stops there. Only thing he has to pay is yearly taxes. That's it. Okay? This person that paid cash got it for $300,000. Period. Okay? Plus tax. Now, the person with no money finances that same $300,000 house. Okay, let's say with one of those FHA or VA loans where you don't have to hardly put nothing down. Okay, all right. So the person not only doesn't have the first the person's credit application is going by their gross income, money that they're not even going to get. House payments are based on your gross income. Gross income is before taxes are taken out. They're going by money that you're not even going to get. That doesn't even make any that doesn't make any kind of mathematical sense, right? So you're already upside down and not even got to the price of the house yet. Now, then you finance $300,000, and since you don't have any money part of $300,000, you definitely ain't got the taxes on $300,000. So you're financing the taxes. So you're taking a total of the house plus tax, and then you're financing the taxes too. Not only are you paying them, you're financing them over a period of 30 years. Look how much the house difference is between the person that paid cash to the person that financed it over 30 years. You will never get ahead doing that ever. That is did you guys see what I just did? I counted the regular tax you can see and the phantom tax. Now, if you got one of those loans that's under the best conventional rate mortgage in the world, you're getting done so bad. Ooh, 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 bad. Mm. Woo. I'm just thinking about it right now, you guys. That's because that happened to me at least 2 times. I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that, not even close. I mean, forget the little items, when you finance phones, right? I didn't know every time I financed the phone, I was financing the taxes too. I had no idea I was doing that. Now do that with a house with a subprime mortgage. Oh my God. Filled with PMI and fees and and all that other stuff. You're financing. Listen, now the more I think about it, all those fees, all that stuff is financed. Damn, I'm just thinking about it. All that stuff is financed. Brian says, so the house theoretically is never really yours because you're paying the government every year to have it. All right, I'm gonna look at that 2 ways, Brian. Okay, because I want you guys. I'm gonna say it in a way so you can get it. I know it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it really does. Okay, people know, like people logically know that they're never really going to truly own a house because they have to pay taxes on that land every year, and if they don't, they'll lose the house. Even though people know that, yet millions of people still finance them. Why do you think they do that? If they know they'll never own, why would anybody, check it out, listen, why would anybody finance something knowing they'll never really own it? Does that make any sense? Somebody tell me that answer right there, okay? Even though after 30 years, somebody pays on a house 30 years and they make that last payment, right? And then they're done. And then they logically know now they never will really own it because of the taxes. Why do you think millions of people continue to finance homes? Somebody tell me that answer. I really want somebody to tell me that answer. Why is that? Because I'm saying things that will trigger your mind, okay? Things that you never really thought about. And when you really think about it, it really doesn't make any sense. Why is that? Everybody says it. As soon as you tell somebody in debt, hey man, you need to pay off your home, the next thing a person in debt says, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Even if you pay it off, you never really own it. So whatever. And then you got to come back and ask them and say, if you know this, why are you financing something that for 30 years that you know you're never going to own? Why are you financing it? Aren't you theoretically giving away your money? The only thing I can say to you to answer that question for you guys that might be sitting on there thinking about that question, there's something bigger that you cannot see. There's a bigger picture in the bigger picture that you cannot see. You can't see it because you're in debt. That's why. Because there is a bigger picture. There's something bigger to the whole puzzle. I'm gonna give you guys some hints. There's a bigger piece to the larger puzzle. Taxes are the backbone of the whole economy. Okay. This is why you can go to prison for tax evasion. That should give you some hints. If everybody know they'll never truly own a home because of the taxes, then why are people still financing? Why are millions of people still financing them for 30 years? That doesn't make sense. I would never finance something that I'm never going to own. Doesn't that sound stupid? Especially for 30 years? If people believe what they're saying when they say, I mean, because it doesn't make any sense. Why do people call themselves homeowners when they're in something that they logically know they'll never own because of the taxes, but they're still calling themselves homeowners? Why do people do that? Brian says, that's what I'm saying. Even if I pay cash for a home, I still never really own it because I pay taxes on it yearly. And if I don't, the government will take it. Yes, that's true. That's true. But Brian, same question. You knew this before buying the house, right? You knew you'd never truly own that home because of taxes, right? Now, I need you to answer me truly because this is going to help you understand what the question you're asking me, okay? Did you know that you'd never truly own a home because of the taxes before you actually bought the house? Did you know that? Everybody does. Everybody does. And this is the only thing I can say to you, Brian, okay? There's a bigger picture to something that you cannot see. I don't know if you're in debt or out of debt or whatever. All I'm saying is this: once you're out of debt, you will understand the purpose of taxes. Okay, that's the best way I can say it. I'll give you a couple of hints. Okay, get out of debt. Never, ever, ever, ever cheat on your taxes. Ever, ever. Don't ever cheat on your taxes. There's absolutely no need to. There's absolutely no need to cheat on your taxes ever, ever. Don't have anybody that do your taxes sound shady. Don't ever do. Anybody that does your taxes, you ask to see their personal credit report first, or you go to a reputable tax firm. If you go to a person, you better ask to see their personal credit report first. Okay? Don't mess around. Don't do that. Tax evasion, do not do ever. Okay? There's no need to cheat on your taxes. All you got to do is understand them, and then you'll understand why. BK from the Rocky says, also all the fees and taxes will increase over time. If you pay off the house, that's one less item you have to pay on over the time you keep the position of the house. Yeah, I mean, it's a natural thing. Pay off the house and you have more control right there. And again, if you do it right, you create a successful business, you'll never legally pay taxes again. That's why I said don't ever do tax evasion. There's absolutely no need for it. If you take the time and understand why you can go to prison for tax evasion, don't be scared of it. Say, why is that? And then once you take the time to understand the purpose of tax, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why. Okay, because there's no need to do it. Doing that is basically just being greedy. It really is. It's just being, because we need the system in place for it to work. That's just being greedy. Once you get out of debt, you clearly see that life is not expensive at all. It's really not expensive, not even close. But when you're in debt, it seems that way, right? It causes people to think taxes, or they start getting greedy and start stealing and all that other stuff. It all connects without looking at themselves. Aren't taxes, Jaws 2003 says, aren't taxes paid as well if you're renting? This is why rent typically goes up each year. Yeah. Yeah, for example, Jaws 2003, if taxes go up, say like I had a rental, okay? This is how I would legally not pay taxes, okay? This is what I would do. If I had a property with a rental home on it and my taxes went up, I would throw the tax increase into the rent. So if my taxes went up, so would the rent. I'm not going to pay it. The renter's going to pay it. That's how I legally don't pay taxes. That's just a quick, easy something to, I own the property outright, so I know my money's not leaking in interest somewhere. It's not going anywhere. I seal up all the cracks in my foundation. I own the property, and then the renter and all that other stuff that's in there, that's 100% profit. If the taxes go up, I just throw the tax increase into the rent. I don't pay taxes. The renter will, not me. Taxes for my home is $2,500. $2,500. If I paid it off, it'd be that annually only. But if you stay with a loan, that's where fees come from, which will cost you pay double for the house. Yeah. Yeah. One, Amazon doesn't pay taxes, start a business like that. No, well, you can just start a business, period. It don't have to be like Amazon. People see that, it's like people in debt will see Amazon made $1 billion and didn't pay any taxes. People in debt would look at that and say, oh, they just don't have to pay taxes because they're billionaires. They just say things like that if they just stop and think and say, wait a minute, tax evasion is tax evasion, no matter who you are. Let's see how they're doing that. But people don't know. People in debt, they just don't know. So I hope that that example kind of sinks in you guys' head. The example of everybody knowing that you never really own a property because of taxes, but yet people keep financing homes, even though even though they know they will never truly own the home. Why do people continue to finance homes? There's something that people in debt can't see. That's all. There's something in there's something that people in debt cannot see. They cannot see the whole purpose of taxes. That's all. They can't see it. All you got to do is pay less in taxes than everybody else. That's all. That's all. That's all. Any Amazon's doing, the companies are doing. That's all they're doing. They're using legal ways of doing it. That's all. They're not doing anything special, you guys. I promise you, they're not. And don't think they're doing it because they're rich. Rich has nothing to do with it. You can do it now as a regular worker. You can do what they're doing right now with your regular job. The only difference, you got to be out of debt to do it. You can't be in debt and do what these big companies are doing. You can't be in debt doing it. It's like, let me give you an example as a regular worker, okay? And so you kind of can see what I mean. So say like there were 10 people in an office that all made the same amount of money, okay? Let's say 100,000, okay? Let's just say 100,000. The amount really doesn't matter, but let's say 100,000, so this will be more relatable. And say like everybody was in debt except one person, okay? One person out of the 10 people, 9 are in debt, 1 is not. Now, since the 9 are in debt up into their eyeballs, they can't really contribute towards their retirement. Okay, they can't add any or anything, because they're in debt. They have no money to do it, right? But the person that's not in debt maxes out their 401k with $19,500 as of 2020, right? This move alone does 2 things for the person not in debt. First of all, he's not in debt. That's why he can afford to put that kind of money into a 401k. And since he did, the government says, hey, for you doing that, we're going to go ahead and put that by putting $19,500 into your retirement. Thank you for doing that. And for this thank you, we're going to allow you to take that same $19,500 off of your annual income. Okay. So what that means is they take $19,000 off of the $100,000, which would bring them down to, just lower, closer to 70 something, right? Or yeah, right. 80, 70 something, right? Anyway, that means that lowers themselves into a lower tax bracket, which means they pay lower in taxes for the year. Okay. So it's almost like double dipping, right? So imagine that difference. So between, say, like all the people file their taxes and everybody either had to pay or got a little bit of money back, but the person that entered 19.5 into the account, they got back, I'm gonna just throw out some numbers. This is not exactly right. So say like they got back $3,000 in taxes, okay? Because they're lower in the tax bracket. At the end of the year, out of the 9 people, the person that didn't have debt now has $3,000 more in his savings account than the 9 people. That's called phantom income. If you pay less taxes than the majority, that's money in your pocket. Now, if you master this, because you can do this with HSA, any pre-tax option available to you, that's the real return, the taxes. It's not the match. It's the taxes is the real ROI. Now you do that with an HSA, same thing. HSA is the health savings account, okay? Now follow me closely. Same 9 people. Say like the HSA maximum is $7,000, okay? That you can put in this pre-tax vehicle. People in debt cannot afford to do that, so they don't. They can't. That's mathematically impossible for them. You do. If you say like you maxed out the $7,000, now HSA, you can only spend it on medical expenses, out-of-pocket medical expenses, and anything medically related almost, okay? So you maxed yours out at $7,000. So they allow you to take $7,000 off of your annual income, which lowers you in your tax bracket, okay? And for the government says, hey, for doing this, you can also pay they give you like a credit card for that $7,000, right? And the government says you can pay any medical out-of-pocket medical expenses with 100% of this dollar for doing that. Because you got to remember, people in debt, they can't do it. Plus, any out-of-pocket medical expenses, they pay it with their net income, money that has already been taxed once. So if the out-of-pocket medical expense was $20, they really didn't have $20. They probably, after your tax taken out of $20, it'd be 19, let's say it's 19.25 or something like that, right? They don't realize they have to add an additional 75 cents to make that a full 20 to pay that out-of-pocket medical expense. They don't really understand how that works, right? But when you pay the HSA, not only do you get to get lowered in your tax bracket, you get to pay with this card using 100% of money that hasn't been taxed once. They give you like a double reward for doing that. Okay? That's the real ROI between those two, the government. When you're in debt, you can't see that, take advantage of it. It makes no mathematical sense. You don't even believe it exists. People in debt believe it's the match, right? They believe, oh, let me get the 3% company match, 6% company match. I'm matching, right? But if people in debt added up all their savings and then add up people in debt, add up all your savings that are believing the match right now. I'm gonna show you that it doesn't exist for you. Okay. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go savings minus debt equals how much money I have to contribute to my retirement to get the match. Okay, let's say that one more time. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the money you have to get a match. If your finances are in the negative, that's mathematically impossible to match negative. You're not matching anything. You just believe you are. Now, again, if you do this, it's going to be a hard struggle for you. You're going to be like, oh my God, that does what? And I'm going to tell you the answer. All you got to do is believe mathematics at this point. You got to believe math. And you got to ask yourself, how come I'm struggling with this when I know the math is correct? Same thing on everything I'm telling you guys about the houses, people financing houses for 30 years when they know they will really never truly own the house because of the taxes. How come people still finance them? Because there's a bigger picture. Josh 2003 says exactly. This is one of the reasons I've never liked renting long term. It always goes up. More and more fees are passed to the renter. A home paid off will have a consistent fee such as repairs and taxes. Exactly, Josh 2003. That's why, listen, that's why everything goes up. You think the owners are going to pay those taxes? No, the renter is. And as a person of business and money, I respect that. And I expect that. I respect it with an R and expected. People with money don't pay taxes legally. It's really plain to see. I hope I'm making this clear as day. This is how it works. People that are working right now, they have, hey man, should I pay off my house or invest in retirement? A house is way better than any vehicle retirement. Way better. If you are a person right now struggling, if you should pay off your house or keep investing in retirement, a paid off house to compare to any retirement vehicle you're thinking of, there is no comparison, not even close. A paid off house is cash money in the bank. All you got to do is the opposite of everybody. All you have to do is always think the opposite of the majority. Do the majority of people have mortgages? Yes. Pay yours off. Always do the opposite and you will become rich. You don't even have to ask these type of questions. All you got to do is look around you. Anybody, whatever the majority, the financial majority is doing, you do the opposite. If the majority of people believe in mortgages and investing in retirement, you do the exact opposite. Pay your house off, and then once your house is paid off, go back to investing in retirement with real money. Seal up all the cracks in your wealth building foundation. This is what I can do for you. You seal up all the cracks. I help you seal up these cracks. What are cracks? Financing, interest charges. Those are cracks in your foundation. I help you get rid of those. Once we seal those cracks up, you have no limit on your financial ability. Everything will happen. Your money will stack so fast, your head will spin. You guys have a good one. I am out for sure this time, for absolutely sure. All right, you guys have a good day. Oh, okay, last one. Let me see. Mazda 5 says, it makes great sense. That is my goal, to find a conventional mortgage at a great deal this year below my budget. I'm going to say this last thing to you, Mazda 5. You're not going to go out and get a mortgage that's a great deal. Okay, listen, always use your words correctly when it comes to money. You're going to go out and you're going to accept nothing less than the best deal. Okay? You're not going to accept any mortgage less than the absolutely best one on the market. Anything below the best mortgage on the market, you're giving your money away. Giving your money away. Always make sure you use the correct language when it comes to money. Don't talk like the people in debt, hoping they get the best deal, crossing their fingers, hoping they get a car, finance. Only people in debt do stuff like that and talk like that. You say, hey, yep, hey bank, what's the best one you got? Oh yeah, okay, give me the requirements. Cool. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you. When you walk into the bank, you're determining if you're going to decide to go with them, and you're only going to go with them if they give you the best deal. There's no crossing your fingers, hoping you get the mortgage. You're walking in knowing you're going to get a mortgage. Okay? There is no ifs, ands, buts, maybes, and they're going to know this by looking at your personal credit report. They're going to know automatically that you know that you're going to accept nothing but the best. How? They're going to look at your credit report. It's going to look like mine. If you haven't never seen mine, go to facebook.com/debt ain't my daddy. Here, let me put this up so you can go see it. Right there. Okay. Go to my Facebook. Go to my Facebook. Look at my personal credit report. I want you to gaze at all the beautiful zeros. Gaze at them. That's how your credit report will look on one page. Okay? Anybody you deal with, their credit report better look similar. That's it. When the bank sees that credit report that looks like that, they're going to know that you know Mazda 5. They're going to know. They're going to automatically know. They wouldn't dare insult you with anything less than the best. I promise you. Soon as you run your credit report and it looks like mine, they wouldn't dare insult you with anything less than the best mortgage rate on the market. I promise you. You are welcome. You guys have a wonderful day. Okay? I'm out.